All right, so are you ready to dive in today?
Absolutely, I'm ready.
Okay, great. So today we're looking at Ireland,
Okay.
and specifically we're using a newsletter called Love Ireland as our source material.
Awesome.
And this is pretty interesting stuff. We're going to try to uncover a surprising fact about Ireland, and that is, like, what is the oldest place
Mm.
on the entire Emerald Isle?
Okay.
Now, if I said that to you just off the top of your head, you'd probably think of like some,
Yeah.
crumbling, moss-covered ruins.
Some ancient site.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lost to the ages or something like that. But what if I told you that the oldest place in all of Ireland is actually like a bustling city?
It is surprising, isn't it?
It is.
The Love Ireland newsletter points to Waterford City,
Yeah.
and it was founded way back in 914 AD.
Wow.
Not by the Celts who we often associate with Ireland,
Right.
but by Viking invaders.
Wow.
That makes the city over 1,100 years old,
Oh, really?
which earns it the title of Ireland's oldest city.
That's amazing. I would have never thought that Vikings, I mean, that's not the mental image I had at all
Right.
when I think of the oldest place in Ireland, but
Yeah.
that's really interesting. It makes you think about how like layers of history
Yeah.
are hidden in plain sight
Exactly.
all around us.
Yeah, and the newsletter doesn't just stop at that one fascinating fact.
Okay.
It kind of paints a picture of County Waterford as this really cool mix of history,
Uh-huh.
nature, and culture.
Yeah.
They even highlight everything from ancient city streets
Oh, well.
to the rugged Conmara Mountains.
Nice.
Something for everyone, it seems.
Okay, now you're talking my language.
Yeah.
Those mountains have my attention for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. But I also see here they talk about the Waterford Greenway and the Copper Coast.
Yeah.
What's the deal with those?
Well, the Waterford Greenway is like this really scenic trail,
Okay.
perfect for a leisurely bike ride or a hike.
All right.
And the Copper Coast is like you've got dramatic cliffs, unique geological formations shaped by, millennia of natural forces.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a testament to the diverse landscape
That's amazing.
beyond the city.
So we've got Viking history, we've got a vibrant city, we've got mountains, we've got a really cool coastline.
It's all there.
County Waterford sounding really great.
Yeah.
And speaking of exploring, the newsletter shares a tip from one of its members,
Oh, cool.
which is travel the back roads and talk to the people.
Hmm.
I mean,
Simple but profound.
it is.
Right.
Yeah,
It really speaks to the heart of authentic travel, doesn't it?
it really does.
Who better to offer genuine insights about a place
Yeah,
than the people who live and breathe the local culture?
for sure.
Those interactions are often what lead to the most memorable experiences.
I totally agree. I mean, it's those unexpected encounters and the stories that you hear from locals that really, bring a place to life.
Yeah.
Now, I can't help but wonder about those Vikings who landed in Waterford, over 1,000 years ago. What lasting impact did they have on the region beyond just like
Right.
establishing the city?
Well, that's where it gets really fascinating.
Okay.
Remember, these Vikings, they didn't just pass through.
Right.
They settled.
Okay.
They built this thriving port,
Right.
trade hub.
Wow.
And over the centuries, their influence undoubtedly seeped into the region's culture,
Right.
architecture,
Yeah.
maybe even local folklore.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's like this ripple effect through time.
I'm picturing those longboats sailing up the River Soar. Yeah. I wonder what those early settlers would think of Waterford City today. It's incredible to consider that, like, their arrival
Yeah.
essentially set the stage for the city's entire existence.
It really puts things into perspective.
It does.
This one event over 1,000 years ago still echoes in the present.
Yeah.
And it reminds us that every place has these layered stories just waiting to be uncovered.
That's a good point.
Waterford's just happens to be interwoven with Vikings,
Right.
which makes it all the more intriguing. Speaking of intriguing, the Love Ireland newsletter also has this section called From Our Members,
Yeah.
with even more tips.
Okay.
Did any of those catch your eye?
You bet.
Okay, let's hear it.
One member recommended checking out Pidar's Bar in Moat Day.
Okay.
Apparently, it won Best Outdoor Space at the 2024 Irish Pub Awards.
Oh, wow.
Imagine like this cozy outdoor area,
Yeah.
maybe a crackling fireplace,
Yeah.
friendly locals,
Mhm.
perfect for just soaking up the atmosphere,
Yeah.
you know?
That sounds amazing.
Now that sounds like my kind of place.
Yeah.
A good pub is practically a cultural institution in Ireland.
Right.
And, it ties back to what we were saying earlier about
Yeah.
connecting with the locals.
Uh-huh.
Those pubs are often where the real craic happens.
The crake.
That unique Irish blend of fun warmth and lively conversation.
Yeah. I love that word crake. It's so
Right.
it's so Irish.
It is.
And
It's so-
and speaking of sharing, I love how this newsletter includes this section called the crake.
It's like they're inviting us to be a part of it all, even from afar.
It's like a virtual passport to the heart of Ireland.
I like that.
You know what else caught my eye in the newsletter?
What's that?
They mentioned some experiences that tend to sell out quickly.
Oh, really?
And they're urging readers to book in advance,
Okay.
which is a good reminder that planning ahead is key,
Yeah.
especially with Ireland becoming such a popular destination these days.
Right. Especially if you don't want to miss out.
Exactly.
Did they mention any specific experiences?
They kept it pretty general in this issue,
Okay.
but they did link to a separate article
Oh, okay.
titled Top Experiences in Ireland Likely to Sell Out.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah, probably worth checking out for anyone who's serious about,
Yeah.
locking in those travel plans.
We'll definitely include a link to that article in the show notes for our listeners.
That's good.
But, honestly, what I appreciate most about Love Ireland is this focus on genuine, authentic experiences. Like, wandering the back roads and chatting with the locals.
Absolutely.
And speaking of those local gems, were there any other tips from our members section that stood out to you?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
One member suggested trying some old school rock buns.
Wow.
They're these sweet, crumbly buns with raisins.
Okay.
Apparently, they're a classic Irish treat.
Now you're speaking my language. I'm always up for trying new recipes, especially if they have a tie to like a different culture.
And this member even included a link to their cooking channel
Oh, wow.
for anyone who wants to try baking them at home.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. It makes me wonder, though, if we could travel back in time
Mm-hmm.
to like Viking era Waterford,
Yeah.
what would be the most surprising thing we'd encounter?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think we tend to kind of romanticize the Viking era,
Yeah.
Imagining brave explorers and epic battles.
Right.
But the reality was probably much harsher and more complex.
Absolutely. I mean, daily life back then must have been incredibly challenging.
Yeah.
But still, there's something so captivating
Yeah.
about kind of peering into that window of history.
Yeah.
It's like a glimpse into an entirely different world
Yeah.
shaped by, values, ways of life that are so different from our own.
And to think that Waterford City provides like a tangible connection to that world.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really highlights how history isn't just something that we read about in textbooks.
Right.
It's actually like woven into the fabric of the places that we visit.
Absolutely.
And as we've seen, through Love Ireland,
Yeah.
Waterford's story is just this amazing blend
Yeah.
of the expected and the unexpected.
Yeah.
From its Viking roots to its modern day allure.
It's those unexpected elements that make exploring a place like Waterford so enriching.
It is, I agree.
It's like peeling back layers of time to understand how the past has shaped the present.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well said. Now, before we wrap up our deep dive into Love Ireland, I want to encourage all of our listeners to check out the full newsletter.
Definitely.
We'll be sure to include a link in the show notes.
It's a fantastic resource for anyone who's just fascinated by Ireland.
Yeah.
Whether you're planning a trip or just, exploring from the comfort of your armchair.
It's a great way to learn more.
Yeah.
And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe this deep dive will spark a curiosity in you to like delve even deeper,
Yeah.
to uncover your own hidden gems and personal connections to the Emerald Isle.
I hope so.
So until next time, happy exploring.
Hmm.
As we've been talking about Waterford and its Viking heritage,
Yeah.
I can't help but wonder, like, if you could travel back in time to that era, what would you be most curious to see? Would you wander through, like, the bustling marketplace,
Mm-hmm.
hoping to barter for some exotic goods?
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe try to catch a glimpse of those fierce Viking warriors,
Yeah.
their long boats slicing through the river sewer?
It's interesting you mentioned that
Yeah.
because we often kind of romanticize the Viking era,
Yeah, we do.
picturing, valiant explorers and epic battles.
Right.
But the reality was likely much more nuanced.
Oh, for sure. I mean, life back then was undoubtedly tough.
Yeah.
But there's still something so alluring about that period of time.
Agree.
It's like a glimpse into an entirely different world,
Yeah.
shaped by values and beliefs that are so different from our own.
Exactly. And Waterford City, with its Viking origins,
Yeah,
offers a tangible link to that world.
it does.
It's a reminder that history isn't just something that we read in textbooks.
Right.
It's embedded in the places we visit,
Yeah.
the stories we hear,
Mm-hmm.
and the people we meet.
So true. And that's what makes exploring a place like Waterford City so enriching.
It
It's
is.
like peeling back layers of time to uncover the stories that have shaped its identity.
Precisely. And those stories, as we've discovered through Love Ireland,
Yeah,
are often a blend of the expected and the unexpected.
right.
Who would have thought that the oldest place in Ireland would be a vibrant, modern city with a Viking past?
It's crazy. Yeah. It really is. Well, hey, I want to encourage all of you listening to check out the full Love Ireland newsletter.
Yes,
We'll
definitely.
include a link in the show notes.
Good idea.
It's a treasure trove of insights and inspiration for anyone who's fascinated by Ireland, its history, its culture, and its people.
It's a wonderful resource for anyone looking to connect with the true spirit of Ireland,
It is.
whether they're planning a trip or simply armchair traveling from the comfort of their own home.
And who knows, maybe this deep dive will spark a curiosity in you to delve even deeper, to uncover your own hidden gems and personal connections to the Emerald Isle.
I hope so.
Until next time, happy exploring.